Good morning and welcome to my Rug Hook and Talk show. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Annette and I've been hooking rugs for probably a little over 20 years, probably a little more, maybe over 23. So just wanted to share some of what I do for rug hooking and kind of bring a little group about for those of us who can't get to a rug hooking group. That's my situation, so I decided to make a little kind of video rug hooking group that we could kind of connect to and just have a little company while we're rug hooking and chit chat about all things rug hooking. So that being said, this is the rug I'm working on. For those of you who have been tuning in, I did switch up the direction and put it this way. This is the side of the rug. So it would be like, if I turned it all the way over, this would be the bottom part. So it's just, I like to hook from right to left, so I decided to change it up and make it a little easier on myself instead of kind of constantly changing this. So that's where we're at. And I like to start the morning off with a book review. So I'm going to go over to where my books are and grab one and bring it on over to you. Okay, and today I have two. Okay, the first one is Creative Rug Hooking by Ann Mather, and this is a great book. This gets a little bit more out of the box and kind of you doing your own thing, which is a great thing because you leave behind your little mark. So it's just, I'll give you an idea of the color. Great color pictures here, and that's one, Creative Rug Hooking by Ann Mather. Put that to the side. The other one is a pretty big name in hooked rugs, and that's Jessie Tremaine, and this is the Creative Hooker. And here's another great book on just beautiful, beautiful. I'll try to give you a great shot. Here you go. I just want to show you the pictures and the level of color that you get to see. They're beautiful, beautiful. There you go. Okay, so this has some beautiful, beautiful pictures. And again, Creative Rug Hooking, a little out of the box. And here's the back. A little out of the box and into some more modern styles or just of the current times, things that you could hook into. You can hook anything into a rug, any design, any idea you have. Your kid's photograph, his paintings, the dogs, designs, anything you want. So this is why, again, I come back to this craft day in and day out and love to rug hook and gather new ideas from different places. And that's what these books are meant to do, just give you some good ideas and not be afraid to try something new with your rug hooking and experiment with different style of rug hooking and yarns and fabrics and wool and silks and whatever you get your hands on that you want to try, give it a try, go for it. I've hooked with denim. I don't like it. I've learned that. It's very difficult to cut and to hook with denim. And I didn't enjoy it, so that was gone. But you know what? I found this, Seal Harbor Rug yarn is great, and they have a color that looks just like denim color. So if you're looking for that color in the different shades, you can get any shade you want from Seal Harbor Rugs. Don't forget that name. If you hook with yarn exclusively, that will be your new home. Believe me when I tell you, it's a great resource for your rug hooking yarn. So, okay, that being said, I'm going to put this away and show you one other item that I got over the weekend. And I'm going to show it to you right now. Okay, so here it is. Let me try to get this out of the way and put this in the center of this is my new tote for my frame. And I didn't realize they made them this big. And this inexpensive. I mean, this was, I think, $25 with shipping. So I just want to show you the inside. And it's got these great big handles. And as you can see, it's got 1, 2, Let me get to the front. It's got another one that velcros right in there, and on the side it's got a big one, so you can put whatever you want to put in here, and this is great. The only thing I wasn't thrilled about it collapses. I guess maybe for storage makes life easier. I didn't want it to collapse, but it does stand up. I'm just going to give you an idea if I poke all my little clips inside. This goes in. Pretty simple. I mean, is that the coolest thing? Look at that. Oh my gosh. So you could put your hooks. You could fill it is very roomy. You could see in here. You could fill it with yarn. Fill it with your wool in your little Ziploc bags, if that's what you do, and that's what I do. I take everything around with a Ziploc. The brand is Storage Studio, and it's on here. And I got this off of Amazon, and like I said, shipping was included, and so I thought that was a great deal. And it's cool. It's pink. It's pink with little polka dots, gray and white polka dots, and there you go. Okay, so that being said, that's my new tote. They did start a little group at my local library for all things fiber and textile that you want to come. Knitting, crocheting, embroidery. They didn't ask for rug hookers, but I don't even know if they know about rug hooking, so I might show up one Wednesday with my little frame and just kind of introduce them to my rug hooking. So maybe if they ever let me do a little clip of them doing their thing at the group on Wednesday, I'll air that and bring it in to you. So that's where we're at, and we're just going to start our hooking today. Grab my bin over here, and as I need new yarn, as you can see, I got as I need new wool. I keep saying yarn. I'm sorry for that. I hook with both. I keep adding some different greens in here just to keep this going, because I'm afraid I'm not going to have enough, and I will have to go searching on the internet or up the street to Yankee Peddler, where she has the most outrageous selection of wool, and you can buy her off of the internet, Yankee Peddler. Just Google yankeepeddler.com, Yankee Peddler rugs, and her website will come up. Got my coffee going. And let's start hooking here today. So we're just hooking across right now. This is what I'm working on. Hooking across. And actually I'm filling in some of these. So I'm going to get back to doing that. And we were just discussing the background a bit. And how to get that aged look, that modeled look, that primitive look. And the primitive look is basically the fact that back then they didn't have a wool store to go to buy all this great wool, and clearly I don't think that's the idea of it. I don't think they were trying to create something artistic. It was out of necessity to cover the floors, to drafts, to keep mice out. A bed rug was used at the foot of the bed to keep your feet warm. So they had other ideas in mind. I think the artistic element came in much later, and when wool started to become available and possibly even affordable. But my point being was that they hooked with whatever they had, and that was the primitive look. Maybe some of the clothes had faded or were a little worn out, so that's what you got. And you've got different colors because they used whatever was on hand. So if they ran out of black for a background and navy blue came in, or gray, those are the colors that were available at that time. So that's what they used. So we try to replicate it, but in all honesty, I don't really replicate it for a primitive look so much as I just love the look of an interested interesting variegated background with different levels and different tones of colors that kind of melt together and give you this softened background as opposed to just a one color background. It's much more interesting. It just is. I enjoy that. I enjoy hooking it too because you're not hooking with just one color. I did that in 2 of my rugs, and right here, this one, if you could see, this was my first rug. As you could see, the background was one solid color because at the time I didn't know about anything. That was my very first rug. I didn't know about any artistic element that you could bring into a rug. It was just, I wanted to try this craft. I was just so taken by it, and I wanted to do this, so I did that with a crochet hook, and I've learned since then. And again, reading books, and I've never been to a teacher or a retreat, so that would have been an enjoyable part to add to my rug hooking. But you know what? I recently purchased one of Deanne Fitzpatrick's online courses. Inexpensive. I think it was $10 or $20. I'm not sure. But you keep the download forever. It's yours, so you can go back to it. It was about an hour long, and it was very interesting. She was teaching me her style. Her style. If you look up Deanne Fitzpatrick, she has her own little style of rug hooking, and just gives you a little window into how she does it and why she does it, and another interesting take on rug hooking. And there's just, you know what? There's just so many wonderful rug hookers out there that just sharing in their lives by getting a peek into how they rug hook and why and what they use. I find that so interesting. And you learn a lot of what's out there and available to you. You probably don't want to copy them because what's comfortable for them might not always be comfortable for you. And you want your own style. And you want to hook the designs you like to hook and go for that. But always, like I said, always do your own thing. But you can pick up tips, and that's what this rug hooking show is all about, is that whatever I learn, I want to pass on to others, because that's, to me, I love that. I can tune into somebody and all of a sudden I see their frame or a certain hook they're using or a certain yarn, and I'm like, wow, that's so cool. I could get into using that. And where did she get that? That's a long piece. I'll save it. And yeah, so I'm just here to pass it on. That's it. And sharing all things that I've learned on my way. For those of you who know or don't know, I'm going to share it again. I don't use a rug hooking cutter, a Bliss or a Fraser or the clamp-on models that go onto your table and you roll through and you crank away. I did have one of those. And I gotta be honest, I didn't like using it, but I'm going to show you what I do use. So if I can just move this out of the way and come down here, if you can see me down here, this is where I keep my rug hooking. I have a mat, an Olfa mat, and a little cutter, and I just lay it on. There's straight lines on your Olfa cutting mat, and I lay it down, line it up. That's my guide, the top one, and I just cut, and off it comes, and I pop it in my little bag of yarn here, and it comes here. So you could use that, and you can take this little thing around your house with you. It's probably not as convenient to take that around your house, so I use Ziplocs, the big, largest Ziplocs I could find, and they're great. You zip them, you've got your yarn in there or your wool. You can keep the ball in there if you want, so it's not tangling up inside with your frame, and that's it. I mean, so you can go do rug hooking anywhere, especially if you have one of these cool little frames or any kind of little frame that might fold down a little bit or fit in that big tote bag that you can carry. you can take your rug hooking anywhere. I've taken it outside. I have an outside porch. I sit there. I'm looking to take it to the local library and start joining the ladies there, doing their little crocheting, knitting, embroidery, fiber thing going on. I got my coffee, and it's warming me up a bit because it's cold here today in New England. Oh yeah. So for those of us who live in New England, the chill has arrived, I would say. The chill is here. And I take my glasses up because I can't see with them. So, and that's it. I don't like where I started. I didn't like where I started that loop. So I just took it out and started it in another spot. That's the beauty of this. We have a great craft here. For all you rug hookers out there, you know, it's the greatest, most forgiving craft. You can put it away for a week, come back, and know exactly what you're doing and where you left off. It doesn't matter. There's nothing that hinges on that last loop, and you can just keep hooking away. And you know what's nice? If you're getting bored working on one area and you've been doing the background for a while and you just want to move to another section of background, do it, because it breaks up the monotony sometimes. I enjoy hooking around the item, the design, or the little smaller designs. I enjoy that. I think that's fun, and you get those wavy lines in there and you follow around, and then you have to make some decisions. Do I want to start a new wavy line? Do I want to just keep branching that out? And that's fine, because that gives you a nice movement too. So just go ahead and enjoy the process, and look at your rugs from time to time. Stand back from them and look and see what you're seeing. Do you like? Do you not like? Do you want to change something in your next rug? Do you want to try something in your next rug? These are all what evolves you as a rug hooking artist. Maybe there's another element that you want to add in more of, that you really like it, and go for it. Try it and see how it works out for you. And it's yours. You don't have to display it if you don't want to, and if you do want to, that's fine. Oh, you know what? I'm going to keep continuing back here. And there you go. I try to start my loop where I left off my other loop. So there'll be two fabric strips in there at the same time. It just fills it up to keep it nice and tight, and that's what you want. You want it not too tight. I mean, you don't want to bubble up your foundation here, but I'm just hooking so you could see what I'm talking about. Don't be afraid to pull your loops up, and you could always pull them back down. But a short loop, there we go, a short loop can get, the chance of it is getting pushed back in is slight if your loops are a good, well-placed loop. Shouldn't come out. For those of us who are into that, yeah, just keep hooking and till you see no background. When you see background, you know you've got to pull that loop out and redo it, or add some more loops in at some point in time. And that's it. It's amazing. It's just amazing how this little act of pulling in a hook, I mean, just creates this amazing work of art and an incredible piece of craft for your home. I mean, to have these rugs around, whether they're on a couch or an ottoman, I mean under a couch, by a couch, like a rug on the floor type of deal, or on display in a wall. I mean, they're just breathtaking in any way. I don't care if you did a solid color with a dot in the middle. If you can move that background around to create movement or create just a design within a design, and I have seen that many people use one color but vary the tones, and it is an amazing effect. Very beautiful. And I'll be doing something like that in my next rug. I have some ideas that I'm very excited to work on. So, you know what? If they don't pan out for me, I just don't make another rug like that anymore. That's all there is to it. You can't beat that. It's not like I'm going to force somebody to wear my ugly scarf, whether they like it or not. I will use that rug in some function, but I don't have to repeat it. You know, it could always go at the back door where, or in the entrance to the basement or somewhere. You're going to find it. So, okay, well, I've got a lot. I try to hook at least for 10 minutes a day, and I still have so much housework to do today, so I just want to say thank you for joining me, and till we meet again, happy hooking.